Welcome to this session of Let's Talk Agriculture, where we discuss with top agronomists a particular crop of interest and scientific way to cultivate it. As the title of today's session, Saffron Cultivation in Controlled Environment suggests, we will discuss saffron. We have with us today Dr. Ardalan Ghilavizadeh, a topmost expert from Iran, who will educate the audience about the nuances of growing saffron in general and how to grow it in controlled environment in particular. Saffron is a spice derived from the flower of Coracosus sativus, commonly known as saffron crocus. The vivid crimson stigma and styles called threads are collected and dried for use. Saffron has long been the world's costliest spice by weight. This cormous, autumn flowering perennial plant species has history of cultivation and use for more than 3,500 years and spans different cultures, continents, and civilizations. Saffron is used in culinary as well as in medicine. Saffron is mainly used in culinary and to color cottage cheese, biryani, meats, liquors, cordials, cakes, confectionaries, breads, and various cuisine, including Persian, Arabic, Turkish, and Mughlai. When it comes to medicinal use, saffron has found its use to cure fever, heal arthritis, and infertility. Saffron is grown in a belt from Castilla-Manta, central Spain in the west, to Kashmir in India in the east. However, modern innovation in agriculture can enable this beautiful crop to be grown in controlled environment across the globe. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Ardalan Ghilavizadeh to the session of Let's Talk Agriculture, Saffron Cultivation in Controlled Environment. Dr. Ardalan is a doctor of philosophy from University in Iran. He has extensive experience in cultivating saffron and exotic herbs and medicinal plants in controlled environment. He is a well-recognized agronomist working with Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Iran. He has set up more than 3,000 agriculture projects across the world and written 20 books on various aspects of agriculture. Dr. Ardalan is a well followed on social media network for his interesting videos in area of agriculture. The passion for his work can be summarized in couplet from famous Persian poet Rumi. Rumi says, when you do things from your soul, you see a river moving in you, a joy. Coincidentally, Rumi also belongs to same place which produces lion's share of global saffron, the greater Khorasan region. With this, I would request Dr. Ardalan to talk briefly about his current work and activities and take us through this session. Floor is your doctor.
Thank you, Deepak, for invitation. Thanks for your favor, Deepak. Congratulations for your great program. Deepak, at the first broadcast, I would like, really appreciate the Indian nurses. I saw the Indian nurses, they are 24 hours, 7 weeks, round the clock. The Indian nurses, I really appreciate, and the best wishes for Indian, these hard conditions with COVID-19.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate your good wishes, sir.
Yes, thank you. I would like at the first tell you a summary of the growing saffron indoors, 13 minutes about the growing saffron indoors. As you see, the growing saffron indoors related to vertical farming. For starting the growing saffron indoors, this profession, we need to the completely covered environment. It is like a room in the home, but rectangular shape. You can start with 60 square meters. 60 square meters, the dimension is 5 meters by 12 meters. 5 to 12 meters, 60 square meters, and the height is 4 meters. It's very simple. This is even, for example, there are questions, I have the 20 meters squares, you can. With even 10 square meters, you can. But my scale for starting, because some people like you, professional, you would like to start with the standards. Standards, you need these 60 square meters. For the people like to, for example, the 1000 meters, should divide it to 60 square meters or 100 square meters. But for summary that we have a scale, an exact scale, we start with 60 square meters, okay? Because I would like to tell you, for example, the list of the equipment that we need to purchase, okay? For starting growing saffron indoors, Deepak, in India, Africa, America, Iran, we need to the shelves. Because the vertical farming, all profession in vertical farming needs to shelves. And I told you in different programs, the 80% of equipment that we use in vertical farming is the same. The shelves, the air handling unit for control environmental factors, and the boiler that we use in the winter, and chiller that use in summer. The boiler and chiller connected to the air handling unit. Okay, at the first, we need to rectangular shape, a building, a completely covered environment, 60 square meters. In the 60 square meters, we need shelves, around 1000 kilogram of iron. Its material should be iron or aluminum. But aluminum is so expensive. My recommendation, use in iron. But aluminum is just for professional for standards. But wooden boxes, it is the wooden shelves is not my recommendation. It's a very sensitive, and it's better that use the iron shelves. Okay, with shelves we need two row of shelves, and the wooden boxes for keeping the bulbs of saffron, and air handling unit. Okay, there are questions about what is the dimension of the shelves, what is the specification of air handling unit. I will tell you in this broadcast. The shelves, we need two row of shelves. The length of the shelves is, for example, because the length of the our room for starting in growing saffron indoors is 12 or 14 meters. Okay, therefore our length of the shelves is 14 or 12 meters. and the width of the shelves is 120 centimeters. We have 5 floors in the one shelves, and we have also 5 floors in the another row of the shelves. Therefore, we have 10 floors in 2 rows of shelves. We have 10 floors of the shelves. The between 2 floors is 70 centimeters, and the between the first floor of the ground is 20 centimeters for cleaning, and the between, like exactly a mushroom, like a hydroponic fodder, and the other vertical farming. The between 2 floors is 70 centimeters for working, harvesting saffron, keeping, for example, irrigation, giving fertilizer. We need to distance and aeration also. That is the shelves, okay, for keeping, because we need to density, because in 60 square meters, Deepak, is equal with 1 hectare cultivation outdoors saffron. 60 square meters. In 60 square meters, in 1 hectare outdoor, in the behind you, because this is outdoor cultivation lavender. Yes, this is in the is 6 kilogram in 1 hectare outdoor. We can cultivate 6,000 kilogram of bulbs. In 60 square meters, also we can, for example, 5,000 kilogram of bulbs. With the shelves, with wooden boxes, with density. Because in the outdoor we have 1 floor, just at 1 surface. But in the vertical farming, they have 10 floors that we can keep the bulbs. In the shelves, we need to wooden boxes. In the shelves, because wooden boxes keep the humidity, keep the temperature, and it's the best material for keeping humidity, Deepak. Okay?
Right.
And this is the shelves. Okay? We have the 3 distance. The distance between the wall and shelves is 80 centimeters. The distance between 2 shelves is 1 meter. And another row of shelves to another wall is 80 centimeters. Okay? 80 centimeters, 80 centimeters. 1 meter for access, and we have 2 rows of shelves with length, with width of 120 centimeters. The width of the shelves is 120 centimeters. Therefore, we have 5 meters that we have the width of our room. Okay, the distance between. Another equipment that we need is air handling unit. What is the meaning of air handling unit? In different countries it's different. Maybe air conditioners, cooler, but is specialized with the growing saffron indoors. We shouldn't use of the common cooler that we use in home. For example, your split in your home that goes saffron. It's very dangerous. All your crops, all your yield maybe in the 1 second completely destroyed. That we should use air handling unit. Air handling unit is, we have we build it for, especially for mushroom, for saffron, for hydroponic fodder, because the air handling unit with humidifying system is located in the inside, because we need to, for example, the air mix of the humidity, but the cooler has a dried air. The cooler, the office, in the school, in the home, they are very dangerous, Deepak. This is not my recommendation. It's the very wrong that we use is the common, for example, the air conditioners. We should purchase. There are factories that build, that manufacture these air handling units, especially, for example, for saffron, especially for mushroom. For example, its specification 7,000 cubic meters per hour. For example, the specification for 60 square meters. Air handling unit, for example, in the average season, for example, autumn is spring, is only can control the environmental factors. But in the winter, the peak of the cold, or in summer, the peak of when we hot weather, we should connect it to the boiler. For example, in the winter, in the peak of the winter, when the temperature is 2 centigrade, -2, and the 0 centigrade, we need to boiler. Boiler is the machine that the warm water. After the boiler, for example, for 60 square meter, we need 100 kilocalorie, 100,000 kilocalorie for 60 square meter. Is the specification of boiler okay, warm water and warm water via pipes connected to the air handling unit. Okay, we have the air handling unit exactly between two shelves that connected to the plastic duct between two shelves. Okay, that the boiler in the winter, the peak of winter, in the connected to the coils, the heating coils, and the air handling unit converted the warm water to warm air because the saffron needs to air, needs to oxygen. That air handling unit, they provide for the suitable air for us. Okay, in the summer. In the summer also we need to chiller. Chiller connected to the air handling unit and the chiller cold water. For example, they connected, converted to the cold water and cold water via cooling cold, converted cold water to cold air. Okay, and they are connected to the temperature sensor. At Deepak, we have the fixed temperature, okay? 25 centigrade, 17 centigrade, 10 centigrade. We should control to 3 temperature. But for example, in the summer, the temperature in the India, I think 40 centigrade, yes? I think
yes, that's right.
40
that's
or
right,
45.
that's right.
But
45, it goes up to 45.
okay, in summer, after purchasing the bulbs of saffron in the completely covered environment, we need to 25 centigrade, 3 months after summer, June, July, September. Okay, for example, in the 3 months of the summer, we need to 25 centigrade. The temperature inside room, okay? Therefore, Deepak, in the outside, we have the temperature 45 centigrade, yes?
Right.
And we need, what we need? we need to chiller, yes? Chiller, cold water, and cold water connected to the air handling unit, and air handling unit reduce temperature to 25 centigrade. Finish. In winter, what is the temperature in New Delhi, in India, in the peak of winter? Deepak,
3 degrees centigrade.
Okay, 3 it's very cold, 3 centigrade. Okay, therefore, in the winter, we need to, in the winter, for example, we need to 17 centigrade. Yes. Okay.
Right.
What we need?
Boiler.
Boiler. Okay, Deepak, you are professional. I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. You need boiler and warm water converted into connected to the via pipe connected to the air handling unit, and air handling unit via heating coil connected to the warm water to warm air. Therefore, we have 3 centigrade. You told me, and 3 centigrade. Okay. Increase the temperature inside to 17 centigrade via temperature sensors. Very simple, okay? If there isn't difference between summer, winter, autumn, spring, humidifying automatically should be work. Therefore, we have the gentle air, the great air, mix of the humidifying with the inverter. We need to, the speed of the air also so important. We need to speed 5 to 9 meters per second.
Right.
Meters per second. We need, okay, these, but because in factories we we manufacture. I mean not miss exactly Ardalan, because the people that manufacture these factories, and for example the 7,000 cubic meters, you know, automatically all things in, for example, designer, the scientists work during 3 years, their focus in the mushroom doesn't damage, you know, doesn't focus in the best quality of saffron, the best quality of mushroom. This is the meaning of air handling unit. For example, a specification, for example, axial fan, centrifugal fan, in the speed of, but in the common cooler that we use in home, in a school, in the office, in the, for example, in the salons, in the conference salons, you know, it's very dangerous. You know, all things is under control. We control the temperature. Okay, the story is in the summer park, we should purchase the bulbs. The weight of bulbs in the growing saffron indoors is completely different with the outdoor. In outdoor, we need the bulb with the weight of 7 gram, 8 gram. But in the greenhouse saffron, in the growing saffron indoors, we need 2 bulbs. Their weights of the bulb should be over 25 centigrade, over 30 grams. We need 2 heavy bulbs. It's the secrets of the success is the weight of bulbs. Over 20 grams, over 35 grams. For example, the 7 grams, when you transport the bulb with 7 grams with all expensive equipment, expensive the shelves, expensive, but you will see, because why? We do not have any the flowers of the saffron, you know, it's very wrong. You should be careful. And in their story is in the June, you should purchase, because this month, for example, is the May, 30, for example, two week later, 2 week later, 3 week later, you should purchase the bulbs. For 60 square meters, you need 5,000 kilogram of bulbs, 4,000 kilogram of bulb, or 5,000 kilogram of bulb. Okay, you should the market in, because from Iran is prevented. There are many questions. Mr. Ardalan, I would like to purchase the bulb. From Iran is prevented. It is completely illegal, Deepak. You can, there are countries that they can, because to my training, I will guide them. For example, the country that they can, there are numerous, the Netherlands, in India, because the Kashmir, you know, these are the best country for the purchasing, and there are another country. But from Iran is prevented. This is the process, completely illegal process, Deepak, from Iran, you know. And you should purchase, you choose the country or company. For 60 square meters, you need 4,000 kilogram of bulbs. The weight of each bulb should be, Deepak, help me.
25 to 35 grams.
Okay, great. 25, great. And before, you should, you know, you should you should be certain of the controlling environment. Before the purchasing, you should the environment check, for example, with the thermometers. Can I control? Will I be able that? Can I help to control? You know, 1 week before the purchasing, control your environment. Maybe with air handling unit, even with bad insulation. Insulation of building also so important. You should use with panel. You know, insulation also so important. Not that the cement, the usual cement. Okay. Anyway, before the purchasing the bulbs, you should do fever. Okay, I can control the temperature between, because this May is very warm, you know, you told me 40 centigrade, 45 centigrade. Therefore, please check your air handling unit, your chiller, because doesn't work in heat, boiler doesn't work in summer. Chiller works, yes. Chiller, work the chiller, your air handling unit, for example. Okay, yes, all thing is good. 25 centigrade, reach to 25, any problem. Chiller is completely great. You are aware it's controlling of environmental. Okay, I can control the temperature because the humidity, humidity or carbon dioxide and the light, it doesn't need to spend money, you know, to spend money, because with 1 window, 2 window, you can control the light, the carbon dioxide. It depending in your knowledge, control of the light, the carbon, but temperature completely in your money, in the dollars, you know, temperature, and it needs that big control temperature. Okay, I can, because 3 months after summer, you can control, you should control the temperature inside your room, 25 centigrade. Okay, because air handling unit, 85% is not hard. In the each condition, we can control the humidity with 80%. It's not so important. Temperature is very hard. For example, the 45 to 40, it needs to money. Okay. All thing is okay. I can 25 centigrade, humidity in summer also we need to 60%. Humidity 60%. We do not need any light. We do not need any the control of carbon dioxide. Think with yourself, I do not need anything about the carbon. What is the meaning of it? Doesn't need 3 months of the summer. Just temperature 25 centigrade. Storing without light, without the control of carbon dioxide, and without humidity, without irrigation. Just you should keep the bulb with 25 centigrade. So important. 25, not under 20 centigrade, not over 30 centigrade. 25 centigrade. Okay. You purchase the bulbs. Before that, you should disinfectant with this with the fungicide. You know, for example, the methyl thiophonate. For example, right. The methyl thiophonate and this fungicide, and in water and fungicide. And after disinfect your bulb, you keep the wooden boxes. What is the specification of wooden boxes? The dimension of the wooden boxes is 40 by 60 centimeters. 40 wooden boxes, 40 by 60 centimeters. The height is 4 centimeters. Okay, this is the wooden boxes, and I create the 40 by 60 centimeters, and each wooden boxes, Deepak, we can keep 5 kilograms of bulbs. Okay, 5 kilograms of bulbs. 5 kilograms of bulbs. Therefore, we need 500 wooden boxes. 40 by 60. Why 40 by 60 centimeters? Ardalan, I saw in your video the wooden boxes with 1 meters by 70 centimeters. Okay, this video, my training, I told him that word. It is very hard with 1 meter. All my focus are focused in the we should work easily in the 40 by 60 centimeters. Easily we can transporting, you know. This is not 40 by 60 centimeters.
Yeah, I understand.
Because, okay, this is my idea of my training. What is the standards? 40 by 60 centimeters. I will tell you the challenges about why we choose. Okay, 40. We are working in growing saffron indoors, Deepak, because we reduce the cost of the saffron. You know, the labor, the cost of the labor. These are help us that we easily work. Okay, the 40 by, we need the shelves and the wooden boxes, and the wooden boxes exactly beside this in the shelves. Okay, and the shelves, after this is that we disinfected the bulb, we create the wooden boxes. Okay, therefore, for rectangular shape, 5 meters to 25 to, for example, the 14 meters, and the row of shelves, we need around 1,000 kilograms of iron for shelves of 60 square meters. We need air handling unit. The dimension of air handling unit is 110 centimeters. The dimension of the air handling unit, 110 centimeters, 115 centimeters, 160 centimeters. The dimension of the box. Okay, dimension of air handling unit. 110 centimeters, 130 centimeters, and 160 centimeters, 130 centimeters, and 110 centimeters. It's dimension of the air handling, but it's different. In different countries, it's different, you know, with 7,000 cubic meters per hour, and the axial fan and the aluminum, its building is the aluminum. Finish. And in the inside, in the air handling unit, we have the humidifying system and the cooling coil and the heating coil is finished, and the boiler, as this task is completely clear, warm water, and it's the chiller, cold water. And the wooden boxes you purchase, you should pay money for the purchase the bulbs, disinfect, you should disinfect the bulbs. After that, keep the wooden 5 kilograms in each wooden boxes in the shelf. You should, in the air handling unit, you know, in the office, in the school, you didn't see any plastic duct, but in the vertical farming for growing saffron indoors, we need air handling unit, the plastic duct. Plastic duct, your aeration channel, its material is because I would like that. Sorry, Deepak, sorry.
No, no issues.
Because this is plastic duct, you know. This is the plastic duct.
Right.
This plastic duct exactly connected between two shelves. Okay, one shelves and okay, one row shelves and one row shelves, and therefore we have the warm air or cold air. We have all around the shelves. We have, you know, because when we say, when we tell you a 25 centigrade, the first floor, third floor, second floor, 25 centigrade. Okay, plastic duct, and we have the hole. For example, the diameter 4 centimeters in diameter. The between two hole is 50 centimeters. The hole 50 centimeters, 50 centimeters, 50, and the air exactly enter the between two shelves. Between, not this shelves, not exactly the between two shelves. 1 meter access. Okay, in the access, and we have the aeration, the suitable aeration all around the shelves, all around the shelf, when with 25 centigrade, all 60 square meters. The first floor, second floor, ground, at the top, at the topic, at the bottom, all 25 centigrade. Plastic duct help us. We have the great air. You know, in the summer, 3 months over, 3 months of the summer, I think you do not have any problem. You do not have any work. You know, you can go to another your work in the office. You know, for example, 1 hour in day, you're just controlling 25 centigrade, just 25 centigrade, without light, without the control, without controlling and anything that environmental factors. Okay, during summer. Summer finish. At the beginning of autumn, okay, what is the months of in your country? The autumn, the first months of the autumn in your country, October.
October, yeah, that's right.
Okay, October. In the October, gradually all things will be changed. The temperature told you 25 centigrade. Yes, the time is the first week is that is 20 centigrade. You should reduce temperature to 25 to 20 centigrade. Humidity was that 60% or 50%. Yes,
Right.
in the October you should 80%.
Right.
In this week, in the first week of the autumn, we need to light over 1,000 lux. We need to carbon dioxide 700 ppm. These are, it's simple, it's very simple. In 3 sentences, tell you 20 centigrade, 80% carbon dioxide is 700 ppm and the lux over 1,000 lux. Simple, but the control these are is very simple. This is the all things is will start. You know, okay. How, Ardalan? How, Mr. Deepak? How we can control the decrease? Okay, with your machine that you have. For example, okay, is the chiller work in 25 centigrade? In the autumn, also you need to chiller. Okay, in the chiller, also you can work. For example, in some country needs for boiler for the decreasing the temperature. Okay, because in the autumn I need, because in some country sometimes some country needs to boiler for the decreasing in the, you know.
Right.
And you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud
hear
and clear.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. In the week, in the as the first week of the autumn, 20 centigrade, humidity is 80%, carbon dioxide is 700 ppm, and the light over 1,000 ppm. Okay. For light, because I didn't say anything about the controlling of the carbon dioxide and the light. Okay, you need to 2 window at the end of your building. 2 window. One window is at the bottom, 50 by 50 centimeters. 50 by 50 centimeters. 50 by 50 centimeters. Louvre's X house in some the scientists say that Louvre's X house, the window 50 by 50 centimeters. At the bottom for carbon dioxide, because the carbon dioxide is heavy. Okay, therefore the situation is the Louvre exhaust should be located at the bottom. Okay, but we have also a window 1 meter by 50 centimeters at the top, because light is at the top is easily enter to your room. Okay, 2 window, because I told you it's not so expensive, the control of the light and carbon dioxide. Yes, 1 window, because also you should have carbon dioxide meters. You should control, for example, 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters, not suitable. Okay, you should check with carbon dioxide. Okay, Ardalan told me 700 ppm with 70 by 50 by 50 centimeters. Okay, I constructed a window with 50 by 50 centimeters, 1,000 ppm. Okay, 1,000 ppm is wrong. Okay, you should increase the dimension of Louvre's exhaust. Okay, 60 by 60 meters. Carbon dioxide meters is so expensive, and it is necessary. Some people doesn't purchase. You know, some people don't purchase it because this is exactly like a BSIM. This is exactly like a mobile. I think it's okay.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, you need to carbon dioxide meters, you know, and the carbon and should continually check the amount of the carbon dioxide depart. Okay. For light, we need to window at the top, at the end of building, we need the window 1 meters by 50 centimeters for light. This is glass, completely glasses. In the summer, you should cover with the panel, with the newspaper, for example, with the, all things that, because in the summer, we do not need any light. Light is dangerous. In the autumn, we need to light over 1,000. Also, we can be lux meters where we can control the amount of the light. You know, with two windows, easily we can control the amount of the light. In summer, completely closed. In the autumn, completely open. The window 50 back then we open the window of the dimension 50 by 50 centimeters at the bottom. Oxygen enter the room and carbon dioxide go out with aeration channel, with working aeration channel, air handling unit, and work with window. And we can easily reduce the amount of the 700. In the summer, when the windows are completely closed, around 3,000 ppm, 4,000 ppm. But the autumn, we should control the carbon dioxide 700 ppm, full of oxygen. With the light completely, we need to full of light, and the temperature is 20 centigrade. Yes, in the 20 centigrade, its humidity also with humidifying system has a degree. For example, you increase the degree of humidity 80%. And gradually, after 2 weeks, with this condition, temperature 20 centigrade, light over 1,000 lux, and the humidity is 80%, and the carbon dioxide 700 ppm. Gradually, in the bulbs, we have the sprouts. You know what is the in Iran names as known as teach, bud. You know, gradually in the bulbs, we will see the sprout 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, you know, gradually reach to 10 centimeters. When we see the sprout 10 centimeters of the bulb, you know, because the bulb, sorry, because in all my program, I have the bulbs of saffron in this broadcast. Sorry, because this is not season, but I would like that show you with the onion. Okay.
Yes, no problem.
You should forgive me. Okay, thank you. This is the bulbs. You know, this is the bulbs.
Right.
This is the bulbs. Okay, this is the bulbs of saffron. For example, bulbs of saffron. What's the onion? This is known as the bud, sprout, or teach. In Iran, known as teach. Teach exactly increase to 10 centimeters. Known as, for example, the flower exactly creates this part. You know, known as teach. Teach gradually. Right. For example, this increase. Okay, to 10 centimeters. Okay, this is known as teach. Sprout, bud, and gradually. This is 10 centimeters. For example, 10. When reach in 10 centimeters at the end of October, okay, reach to 10 centimeters. Okay, this is the bulbs of saffron and the teach. When we reach to 10 centimeters, we should little change to environmental factors. Temperature 10 centigrade, decrease 10 centigrade during 3 days. We need to 10 centigrade. Okay, exactly. Or if we have the warm autumn, okay, work. If cold autumn or cold October, work. I do not know anything about it. Your task is 10 centigrade. When or sprout reach to 10 centimeters, okay, you should reduce temperature to 10 centimeters. This name as cold shower. Okay, 10 centigrade during 10 centimeters. During 10 days, 3 days.
Right.
3 days we need to centigrade temperature. Okay. Carbon dioxide is also 700 ppm. The light right now is also, I told you, over 1,000
lux.
This time is over 1,500 lux. And the carbon dioxide 700 ppm, humidity also 80%, temperature 10 centigrade. After 3 days, gradually flowers will be appeared. The flowers exactly is this part. Okay, I'm sure in your profile in WhatsApp you saw my profile. Yes,
Yes,
in
I did.
WhatsApp. Okay, the bulbs, the
Yeah.
flower, and with the, and I will show you. I promise that in my last post to my connection C. Okay, because I would like to repeat the words gradually. Repeat this time. The temperature should be we should get back the temperature to uh, 17 centigrade.
Right.
But another factor fixed: carbon dioxide 700 ppm, humidity 80%, and light over 1500 lux, and temperature is 17 centigrade. These environmental factors, it means flowers. You will see without doubt, undoubtedly, the flowers will appear and the quality, with high quality. In the my tongue, in the sentence is very simple, you know. Oh, it's very simple, okay, in the word, you know. But it's, I'm not going to tell you it's very hard. It needs to scientists, it needs to professional, it is not. It needs to 24 hours, 7 weeks, round the clock, exactly like Indian nurses in hospitals. Yes, needs
Right.
to working. You
Right.
know that around the clock you should be careful. And in the seventh, in the all crops Deepak, in the all crop we have the roots, yes, in the all crop, and leaves. But in the growing saffron indoors inside the greenhouse, you shouldn't allow to creating any roots. You know, it's wrong. Okay, it's not easy to separate. You're not safe. You shouldn't yourself separate. You know, but this is exactly without leaves, just the bulbs, just the spray. What are the main reasons? What are the main reasons for creating roots? This temperature that I told you, for example, the playing with temperature 25 centigrade without light and 10 centigrade, 17 centigrade. Okay, this playing with temperature don't allow to creating any roots or any leaves. Okay, any roots or any leaves. When we don't have any roots or any leaves, this is the good news or bad news.
I think it's a good news. You are just producing what is required. You are not wasting.
Oh, fertilizer. Okay, you know, it's exactly this is tell you roots. Roots tell you I'm hungry. This food, this with hard condition is very expensive, you know. And the leaves tell you, you know, leaves tell you I'm hungry because the bugs, you know, feed via roots and
Right.
light. Exactly. Roots. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Via roots. Okay. In the 17 centigrade. Okay. When you couldn't control the temperature, when I told you in 17 centigrade, okay, when you couldn't temperature increased to 20 centigrade, 90 centigrade, okay, the leaves gradually appear and finish. You should provide the food without, because this is the wooden boxes. These are not hydroponic system. Hydroponic system is very expensive. The cocoa peat, perlite, the
Yeah.
electricity, you know, for 60 square meters, we cannot provide this real hydroponic system. In the hydroponic, for example, for tomato, strawberry, needs the over 1 hectares, you know. Hydroponic, it doesn't need just cocoa peat perlite, you know. Hydroponic is another story, you know.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
this is
I
the
agree.
growing saffron indoors. Okay, I told you when you couldn't the increase and the temperature over 70 centigrade, you see the leaves. Okay, and leaves means, okay, when you couldn't control the temperature and temperature decrease over 4 centigrade, 10 centigrade, 12 centigrade, you will see the roots. The cold temperature, the low temperature creates the roots, and the high temperature creates the leaves. Both of them you should provide fertilizer. But all try that before finish flowering, it doesn't need that give any irrigation, any water, any fertilizer. Okay, after flowering is so important, okay? Because during summer and 3 months of the autumn, it doesn't need you give any fertilizer. Because I study, I research on this bulb, and I have understand that it doesn't need any fertilizer. Why confuse yourself? Why engage yourself with the fertilizer before flowering? Okay. During flowering, also we do not any water, any 1 millimeters of water, just humidity 80%. Okay. Any gram of the hormone, any gram of the fertilizer. Okay. During 2 weeks, we have the flowers. There are questions. 1,000 kilogram, okay, 1,000 kilogram of bulbs, 1 ton of bulbs gives you around 1 kilogram dried flowers. Around between the 1 and 2 kilogram dried flower. 1,000 kilogram of bulbs gives you 1 kilogram dried flower. 1 kilogram the business sector, the red part, the stigma that you purchase in the 1,000 kilogram of bulbs. Therefore, 5,000 kilogram of bulbs gives you, for example, around 7 kilogram of the dried flower. 1 unit, okay? 1 unit, and once time you should purchase the bulbs. Once time for 8 years, for 10 years. Because please focus in once time, because these bulbs automatically are because propagate. Will
They
propagate.
three more bulbs. One create.
Yeah, okay, for example, this
yeah.
one bulb, 3 bulbs in this next year, in the next
Right.
4 years. Okay, but this 30 grams gives you the best children, not 7 grams, you know. With even the best fertilizer, for example, with the best fertilizer, for example, the great fertilizer with 10 grams bulbs, we can't reach to, for example, the best fertilizer, you know, the heavy bulbs, the best fertilizer, the best controlling, for example, the 17 centigrade, for example, you couldn't control 20 centigrade, 30 centigrade, 40 centigrade. Therefore, we have the fungal diseases, the bulbs destroyed, you do not have any flower, you paid a lot of money, okay? Therefore, these are that told you, these are the secret of the success. These are the secret of the high quality, okay? But each 1,000 kilogram, 1,000 kilogram of bulbs gives you 1 kilogram of dried flower, or 1.5 kilogram of flower, or 2 kilogram of the best condition gives you. And I would like to tell you 70 kilogram of the wet flower, 70 kilogram of wet flower gives you also 1 kilogram dried flower. I mean the purple part of the when harvesting and when the workers harvest.
Right.
These are the summary story of the after harvesting. And I would like to say you, Deepak, you are silent.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Finish, because I would like to say something. This is for your connection. Okay. Another part is as my connection, because I would like that pay to numerous challenges, numerous questions in my WhatsApp. Ask me, Ardalan, after flowering, hydroponic, what is the destination of the bulbs after harvesting the flower? There are numerous. I would like that pay. Do you have any question, my dear friend?
Yes, sure. So now first, I have one I'll say that observation, which I would like to share with the audience. We understand that saffron has been always considered to be a very sensitive crop, right? When grown in a conventional manner, right? Dry, hot summers, cold winters, you need sand, which is actually like, sandy, 12 hours of light, right? All those things we need in conventional farming, and that leads to a lot of challenges. And Dr. Ardalan has solved that complicated problem by saying that we can control the temperature, which is most important. And once we have germination, sprouting, control carbon as well as light, and again temperature for sure. And then we have flowering, again just controlling the humidity, the light, as well as the temperature. And wow, you are having a crop which doesn't need any media, hence less chance of infection. And then you are having high level of productivity, because the same corms or the birds would regenerate, propagate, and it gives you for 8 years earning again and again. So I would request people to look at it. Also request the audience. Dr. Ardalan is also author of books, and one of the book I was going through, like on online, is written on saffron growing indoor as well, which I'm pretty sure would be having far more details, right, with explanation and diagrams and all that. So I would request, I'll share his WhatsApp number. If anybody interested, please reach out to him. And in fact, Doctor, I've interacted with a lot of agronomists across the globe. As I said, that I myself have been in Iran and I've seen the farming of saffron. What you told me just now in past half an hour, believe me, it was eye-opening, right? I've been to some of the best farms of hydroponics with all things controlled well, right? I've seen strawberry going, but even they were not able to grow saffron with best of hydroponics, right? And you, with very limited resources, just using your intelligence and research, have been able to pull out a miracle. So that was my observation. Now, because we are running out of time, we are having limitation of time. I'm having one very simple question I need your answer, sir. We have seen that different saffron from different parts of the world, right? There's so much different of price, from $1 a gram going all the way to $16 a gram, right? That's so confusing, right? What's the reason behind that? That why it's so much of difference? From Spain it's different price, Iranian one of the best, Kashmiri, right? Everybody is having different prices. So what puts the factor behind the pricing of different saffron from different countries?
Good question, Deepak. Good question. In different price, because, for example, in Spain, each gram of saffron is 5 grams. In France, is 7 grams. Each gram of saffron is $7. In London, is the famous two expensive cities, is $10. For example, each gram of saffron is 10. What is in Italy is $50. Each gram of saffron, $50. In Spain, is a neighbor country, is the 5. Each gram of saffron is $5. In Italy, besides the Spain, is $50. In Australia, is also so expensive. Maybe the distance between Australia and other continent also, because in each gram of saffron is, I think, is 15 or $20. In Bangladesh is the 200 taka. In India, I think is 350 or 500 rupees each gram of saffron. I think 500 rupees. Why so expensive? The reason is so clear. In Italy, because in the climate, in October, the time of harvesting of the flowers, and the October is the rain. The rain, the time of the harvesting, the time of the summer, of course, in the traditional of cultivation, because in the summer, completely covered. Also, in growing saffron is completely covered. That, therefore, growing saffron indoors in Italy, not yet is promoting. For example, in the other, I do not, but the people are working. I'm not going to predict. For example, in Italy, they don't work in the growing saffron indoors, but I know the fans. I have also in friends, because the growing saffron solve these problems. From indoors completely destroys. Why saffron is so expensive? This is, for example, the general question. Why saffron is expensive? Is because the labor cost, the worker. Because the worker in 3 a.m., before sunrise, they are forced to harvest the flowers. Sunrise is damage the quality of saffron. After the sunrise, we have the low quality. Okay, then the farmer owner, the saffron farm owner, for example, they pay a lot of money. For example, in the real, for example, one day for $200. For example, when you should pay $20, you are forced pay $300, $400. Maybe you are forced $500 for one day before sunrise, because 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 4 a.m. This is the time of sleeping. Okay, for example, this is the cold condition. Harvesting before sunrise, this is the another. And after harvesting, we should separate the red part of the purple part. Okay, we should dry. The 50% of the cost of the saffron is the labor cost. Okay, right. If we should depend to the ground, they should depend harvesting. The situation is very hard to one surface, but in the growing saffron indoors, all things the floor, and can easily harvest. And without doubt, continually, automatically, the labor cost should reduce. Maybe they do not like the worker and the opposite. They are opposite with the growing saffron indoors because the labor force is good. That traditional farmer with completely opposite with this the growing saffron indoors. They do not. It is the means that's traditional, just traditional, just growing saffron outdoors. What is the meaning of the growing saffron indoors? Growing saffron indoors, in the traditional cultivation, we have the rodents, mouse, fungal diseases. We can't, how you can do the traditional? Do you have any connection with the God in the outside? Can we control 25 centigrade? What is the 60 square meters in 1 hectare? 6,000 kilograms of pulse in 60 square meters. You can easily control 25 centigrade at 17 centigrade. 60 square meters is exactly like a home. You can, in your home, you can easily with 10 square meters, you can start. Okay. Do you, in the 60 square meter control of the diseases is very easy. Yes. Rodents. Right. We do not have any rodents in the 60 square meters. Do you have any mouse in your house? No. But the traditional, you know, in the one, we have the climate change. 1 year, for example, 2018, we have the cold summer, cold winter. In the other side, because in Iran last year, we have the rainy, for example, the 700 millimeters raining. We do not have any rain until now that I'm speaking with you. Okay, you have the climate change, but you do not trust the weather. For example, this your country 40 centigrade, maybe in the next year 40, but in the 60 square meters, because you can easily control. In the labor, it doesn't need, for example, call your worker to you for harvesting about cover. You can harvest 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 4 a.m., 7 p.m., before sunrise, after sunrise. You do not have any limitation in time of the harvesting of flowers. Okay, you do not have any limit. You do not have any mouse. You know, you can completely harvesting before harvesting, because in the outdoor, after harvesting the flowers inside, it becomes faced with the weather and the wind and the rain and the quality of saffron. But after harvesting in the indoors, after harvesting, the saffron has a cover. Then we should dry the saffron. Okay, right. And it in the work, in the floor, 1 floor, 2 floors, I can't compare with the cultivation in the bin, in the you know, because the worker 1 year work and next year doesn't accept your request. You know, it's very hard harvesting. Why? The saffron is so expensive. The general reason is the labor cost. But in the different countries, it's different. In the Italy is the climate, because in October in the flower, because the rain damage, and the saffron because it has a small country with the have a limited conditions, and the flower, because this main is in Australia, the distance between the sheep, okay, and the export. But in Europe, as I understood, in the, for example, there isn't difference between London, Spain, France, Switzerland, and this changes between the $5 or $8 each gram of saffron. But in Italy, $40.
Great answer. So, like, you know, in nutshell, what we believe is that because of the climate and the condition of the countries, saffron originating from there.
Deepak, thank you. Deepak, how many minutes I have?
We are just another couple of minutes. That's all.
Oh, thank you. Because I have a golden point, because the situation after flowering, there are, Deepak, I had numerous calls from different countries. What is the destination, the flower, the bulb after flowering? Okay, if we harvest the flowers, what we should do? What we should do after flowering? Do you agree? Do you have any question? Okay.
Yeah, so after flowering, like, you know, does it disintegrate generally in conventional, right? You have new buds and new crowns, and the old one disintegrate, and like it is of no use. Does the same thing happen in indoor also, or it's different?
Thank you. Okay, after harvesting the flowers, Deepak, after harvest, at the first, hydroponic, you know, unlike the saffron, unlike the other plants, in summer sleep, all plants, all all plants in the summer is alive. You know, spring, the birds in the summer all alive, but the saffron in the summer and spring is asleep. Yes,
Right.
the saffron is asleep. Okay, unlike the other plant. For example, it is different, completely different from the tomato, cucumber. For example, hydroponic. Dr. Ardalan, I need to tell me about hydroponic. Hydroponic, you work hydroponic damages to the bulbs because the bulbs of saffron needs to natural microorganism, natural nutrients. You know, okay, with NPK, okay, I provide with the trace element. I provide it. You know, by manganese, I provide the trace element, micro elements. I provide with NPK, with the Acadian, with the, you know, a different fertilizer. I provide. But no, it's a needs. Okay, NPK, it's good, but hydroponic. Right now in your broadcast, tell you hydroponic and aeroponic is damages to the bulbs. It needs after flowering the mix of soil, the soil that the mix of vermiculite, the best component after flowering. Okay, after flowering, you do not have any land for transporting of bulb. Okay, you transport the soil easily into shelves with the pot. Okay, told you the 4 centimeters, the wooden boxes with 40. Okay, choose the 40 centimeters. 4 centimeters the height, 4 centimeters after harvesting, transport easily the soil, and you do not, because the other, they are right, you know, they are right, because we are with increasing urban population, we do not have this outdoor, you know, this very big environment. Okay, and this is a big, okay, I live in city and I have the 10 square meters, 20 square meters, 60 square meters is easy, but 1 hectare, because Ardalan, you told me for 60 square meters I need to 5,000 kilograms of bark. Okay, after flowering, I need to 1 hectare. You know, it doesn't. No, if you transport, if you flowering during summer, you do not need to 1 hectare. 2,000 meters also is enough for 6,000 kilograms. In the completely, when you have the completely in this season, for example, the autumn, because you harvest the flowers in the greenhouse, you keep the flowers in the summer, you harvest in the autumn, but it doesn't is, for example, provide 1 hectare for 5, because in the in the outdoor cultivation, 1,000 1 hectares, we need 6,000 kilograms of bulbs. There are equation. Okay, I need to 1 hectares. It doesn't. It's 2,000, 1,000, because in the with high density, with 1,000 meters is enough. Okay, 1,000 enough is big. Is the big. I can't access in the lives in the big city in London, in Tehran, in New Delhi. Is very hard. Even for example, 1,000 meters. But is transport the soil in the greenhouse is easily. Okay, but the question with aeroponic system. Okay, in the with cocoa peat, perlite, hydroponic is, I told you, it's so expensive. Yes, it's so expensive. With it's good option, not for people just focus on saffron. For people, for example, I have 1 hectare hydroponic tomato, 1 hectare cucumber tomato, 1 hectare strawberry hydroponic strawberry. Okay, the part of, for example, the 1 meters of your greenhouse, you can divide it. For example, the fertilizer, the grow bag, the electricity system is in. But this is when you are only focused on saffron, you know, it doesn't economical justification. For example, just the focus for 60 square meters is so expensive. You know, for 1 hectare, if you have the tomato, the hydroponic tomato greenhouse, if you have the hydroponic system for 1 hectare in the past, right now you can also divide your greenhouse, for example, 500 of your ground, divide, because you in the past you had equipment for tomato, for cucumber. 1 depot don't have the depot doesn't have any greenhouse, just 60 square meters in your home. But with cocoa peat purchasing per lot, it doesn't mean the hydroponic, and that's so expensive. When you don't have any soil, you cannot provide the natural microorganism. The rate of bulb with the mix of vermiculite and the natural soil itself, soil propagate, divide, and the weight and the get weight. You know, for example, yes, in the without that, some people okay Nutrition in laboratory, we can with different acid, for example, that we provide the natural microorganism, and mind with it's not real. You know, hydroponic, it's good for promoting, for increasing quality. Maybe some people soil is old, the hydroponic is new. Not okay. I saw a video on YouTube, and this the flowers in hydroponic system. Okay, it is my purpose, just flowering. This is just behind you. This is not for beautiful. You should you should get the money, the quality.
Yeah. No, actually, I'll give you an example, Professor. Sorry to intervene. Right, I've seen one experiment. I don't want to name because, like there is no disrespect to people who are trying it. I saw one cultivation of saffron in hydroponic. Conventionally, you get actually up to 1 gram of saffron from say 150, 160 flowers. Right, there it was 680 flowers for 1 gram saffron. So hydroponic economically is worse than conventional.
Deepak, I was surprised. You're experts. You're great. Why invite me? Deepak, why?
No, because you have done the magic, right? I was not, see, after so much of excess and learning, right? This is a news to me that you don't need soil, you don't need water, you don't need nutrients, and you have 7. If 60 square meter gives me 5 to 7 kgs of saffron, why I need to grow tomatoes? I can't be so stupid.
Okay. Deepak, 100 kilogram of the wet bubbles gives you 1 kilogram of the dried flowers, and 60 kilogram of the wet flowers gives you 1 kilogram. The winner, the real winner is the people with 60 kilogram of wet bubbles get 1 kilogram, not 1,000. Because you go, for example, my name is Ardalan and Deepak. I'm Ardalan and you are Deepak. I both of have a saffron farm, the saffron greenhouse. Saffron greenhouse. I go to the Deepak. Oh, great, Deepak! All the purple color. All flowers will be great, and Ardalan also great, good. But the Deepak is completely different. When you pay, for example, to the quality, when you weigh the weight of the flowers and the money, because you should. They ask me, your Indian people, because 70% of my training are Indian people in the mushroom. It's very. This is your great. You have the great people. Ask me, for example, the weight of, I forgot. I forgot. The people ask me, okay, the weight of when the Deepak is around the flowers, and Ardalan also is good. You should look to your, for example, your money, your account, your bank account. This is the ask me. Okay. I remember. Okay, how, for example, what is the criteria of the success? What is the I'm successful? What is the specification of the successful saffron farmer? Okay, after 1 year, you should look to your bank account. Bank account tell you are work good or good. Not the flower. Flower doesn't determine your success. Okay, you should the weight of crossing in for export. You need 3 components: crossing, picrocrossing, saffron. For example, the picrocrossing 290, picrocrossing 90, and saffron 30. Are determined for your exporting also. Okay, with the weight of saffron. Okay, I do not export. Okay, the weight of just the flower. This is the purple. Not the hydroponic. Aeroponic, because not yet, so that the work great. For example, because show me, Ardalan, you told, for example, some people in some country, these are the aeroponic. Look at the farm. This is the great aeroponic, and this is with the grow bag and just the roots. Roots. When we have the roots and leaves, without that we should soil. This is the fungal disease just with the roots empathy. Okay, and after flowering, Deepak, because it's so important. After flowering, we have 2 process. 2 stage of the fertilizer. Just finish 2 times. That also needs irrigation after flowering. What is the first month after winter? What is the first season? If you the first January, for example, in January, yes, in the January, this is the first time of the giving fertilizer. In January, you need 2 macro element: nitrogen, phosphate, potassium, and humic acid. Okay, right. Finish. And the second stage in the Saffron. Saffron چی میشه? March. In the second, because I'm helping, I'm get help of my wife. It is second stage in the March. Okay, in the January and March. The between is 3 months. The first is the January. In the January, we have the maximum of roots, and the roots would like the macro element NPK. You should for Yaramila complex, Yaramila complex in bazaar, in market, Yaramila complex.
Yeah, 16, 20. Yeah.
Yes, completed 2020. Okay, 2020. And the nitrogen, phosphate, potassium, and humic acid, also Acadian yes. Seaweed. Finish. Okay. After 3 months, during 3 months, you shouldn't give any fertilizer. And March, you should provide trace element. Okay. Trace element and macro element, and also the sulfate, because right. We have the maximum of the leaves, and the spray with the spray. We should spray in the leaves, in the roots. We should, for example. Okay, my recommendation: if you have the land, if you have the farm, please transport the bulbs after flowering to the soil. Okay, if you have the farmer, if you have the big farm. Tomato outdoor, cucumber outdoor, you are a complex, agricultural complex, transport to the soil. My recommendation, you will have 6 months. If you have do not access to the any soil, okay, please soil transport, the mix of the soil and so the mix of vermiculite and soil transport to the greenhouse, and you do not need any to land. And in your home, you can easily harvest the saffron for yourself, and it's good also best salary. And because that prevents of the all kinds of mental diseases, depression is very beautiful. It's proof. Deepak, this is to preventing all kinds of mental agricultural activities. Deepak, do you agree with me?
100%. 100%.
Prevents all kinds of mental diseases, OCD, depression. Also, besides, you can earn a lot of money. You know, agriculture. I love agriculture.
Same here. So with that, Doctor, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot. I learned a lot of new things from you, and look forward to have more engagements with you on a professional and commercial level, because what idea you have sown as a seed in me, I would like that to germinate as a business. Thanks a lot, Doctor. And
I have a lot of message. I have a message for Indian nurses, men and women. If you have any question, ask me. Completely free for the nurses. This is my services, free services for Indian. I really appreciate. I saw a nurses that the patient is the COVID-19, engaged with COVID-19, and the nurse was trying that rescues his life. Appreciate really Indian nurses. I love the people of India. Good luck, Deepak. Thanks for invitation.
Same here. I love people of Iran, and my visits to Iran has been so exciting and so good.
Yes.
Hope once COVID is over, then I'll come and personally meet you, Doctor. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.